Hi there, welcome to my channel. For those who haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe. And it's getting close to Christmas. 12th of December, 22nd. I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. And I hope everybody has a good time over the holidays. One of my last videos was on log furniture. I made log beds and a log bunk bed. And this time around, I think I'm going to replicate one of the cabinets I made in the past. It was a small brown oak cabinet. I stained the oak walnut, but I'm going to replicate it in a log furniture style. So yeah, I'm going to show you the dimensions of the said cabinet, and I'm going to make it out of cedar. Okay, so right here, these are the dimensions, and this is the top view. It's 20 inches and a quarter wide. It's 14 and a half deep, and you can see the logs in the corner. And this is the front view, and the doors are 8 and a quarter by 16 and 5/8, and the height of the cabinet itself, not the stand, is 20 and 3/8, and total height is 33 and 3/8. Now, what you don't see here is the cabinet top. Okay, so I'll only know the size of that cabinet top once I've got all these 4 posts or 4 corner legs in place. Okay, so instead of trying to straighten out a whole board in the table saw, I'm going to cut some lengths, and these pieces are going to be glued together so that I can make a panel. Okay. Okay, so these are my panels, my side panels and my back panel, but the front panel is different, okay, because it's got to accept the doors, and the front panel is really the doors. So I'm going to square these edges off and try to get the best lumber out of this and glue this up together. So I set it 0, stick it to the side, and I move it in or out till I get my 9. Okay, magnetic base. Alright, so let's get ripping. So as I look at this, if I'm going to glue this up, that's the heart of the wood right there. If you look at the age rings or the grow rings, so this is likely to split along this line. So I'm going to have to cut that out of the picture and then glue it back together. See, this is the kind of finish I get. I don't know if it's visible. Right? You can see the saw marks, but it's a lot better than the ripples coming off of the jointer, right? Well, everything's clamped up and glued, so see you in a few minutes, or in a few seconds, but for me, it's going to be tomorrow. Okay, for those who are wondering how to prep the legs if you're making some furniture, on one end of the log, okay, what I do is I take a piece of aluminium, the wider it is the better, and I wrap it around, okay, such. Person could use cardboard, I guess, but if it's stiffer, it's better. And so there, the tighter it is, the less side-to-side slop you get. Then you mark it around. And when you're cutting it, you start cutting it around like this. You don't try to go through the whole thing at once. You cut around on the line and you give yourself a little wiggle room. If it's 33, go 33 1/8, right? And then you polish it with the sander. Right? What I do is I start in the middle and I start circling around till it's all nice and smooth. And then I tweak it. I'll put it on the ground, stand it up on end, and I check to see if we're level, right? If I'm looking at it and it's tipping to one side, well then I remove some off the bottom. with the sander. A little bit at a time till it looks straight, okay? I have to actually cut these to right dimensions so I can actually screw them together and make something in the cabinet. And I'm going to need this later on. I'm going to go too far. Okay, so whenever I assemble something, I like to work off of a well-known flat surface, and the last thing I got is a table saw. And yeah, this is the flattest thing I got. So when I assemble things, I want them to fit tight. So, right. This will be the right side. Now I can keep this more than but I'm going to put the defects where it won't be seen. Got to be the top. There's no notch in it. The glue bottle stuck. Oh, okay, it worked. the morning after. And I just wanted to check out, see if this thing's glued properly. So that's what I'm looking at. So all the gaps seem to be closed. Nothing. Yeah, all the gaps are closed. So that will make a nice top. And no knots. So next, I'm going to try to trim. Oh no! I think I can still clear it. I left myself 32 and I got some splitting in the lumber here. But it's only like an inch and a half, so I think I can clear it. I'm going to run it through the sander. This is actually 1 1/8, so I have 1/8 of material to play with. And one side doesn't have to be perfect, but the other one should be flat. So I have a little wiggle room. So next, we're going to go to the drum sander and bring this down to a smooth surface. Okay. Alright, so I've actually started, I'm using my oscillating tool, and I'm using the flat of the box to help me guide the blade in, and I've leveled it so that I have an equal distance from the box to the edge of 2.5 on average. And I'm using the box to plunge in. And then I'm going to use the pathway already carved into it as a guide. And I've already done this side. See the slot? And I've notched the top for the height. Okay? So I have 3 more to go. So now the other end I'm gonna make flush, or make that it comes out flush for the countertop or the cabinet top. And I'm gonna set some spacers. So once I've made the other side flush, I'm gonna make some spacers and put the cabinet on that spacer, and then I'm gonna scribe each leg on the ground and grind it down with the sander, so that way all the legs will be equal and the top will be level. I'm not gonna put screw type stuff on the bottom. Now another way you can help to level this stuff out is if you put little foam pads. They'll compress and they'll take up the wobble if there's any wobble in it. But my main concern is level. If I put a glass on top, a glass of water, I don't want the level to be off. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'm going to start with the corner here. I'm going to go down 1 inch. If I go down 1 inch, I'm going to hit the screw. I think. Yeah, 2 inch, 1 inch. So I gotta go up a little. I'll go 2. I'm gonna put a 3 in this corner. These are 3s right here. All right, so I'm on the flat surface here, and I've wedged a block here. And here as well. I've made it a 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch taller than the measurement from there to there on the ground. So now I'm going to scribe the bottom of my legs on this cabinet to make them all even, and then grind it down with the sander little by little until I reach a desired result. Okay. So first, I've got to find a spacer, but I'm going to check with the digital angle gauge here. I'm going to check to see whether or not Alright, so on the table and it is 100% no wobbles. So this is a solid table. It'll feel solid too when you set your hand on it. You don't get a rocking motion, right? I gotta check to see, I gotta cut into this, see what I can get out of it. Alright, so I need 17 and a half and I have 18. So this should fit. And there's a little twist in the boards. Not too big on that, but okay, so that should be good. Alright, so I'm going to try to fasten this in here. Now, what I'm thinking is somebody's going to try to lift this whole thing by the top. And the top's going to stay in their hand and the cabinetry is going to stay on the ground. I hope that's not the case. So I got to get some drills. So I was going to clamp this down, but I can't reach it. So I'm going to have to hopefully get it right without clamping it down. Go 1.5 on the side. 1.5. And then two more. That's all. 6, 12. 12. And I'm using 1 3/4. Hope it doesn't come out on top. What is this setting? Okay. Alright. Did it move? Alright, nope. Nope, didn't move. Go through. Alright, so I had some hardware lying around and I love these little black knobs. I don't know if you can see it properly. Okay, and I had some these hinges. They're Mortison, non-Mortison hinges. Okay, they come in a pack of 2. And why they're non-Mortison is one flap flaps into the other. Okay, and they're made by Richelieu, Quebec, Canada. This company has, well, I guess, am I endorsing, not endorsing? I'm just saying this is what I bought and I like these. They're really nice. All their stuff is really nice. Yeah, and so I'm going to be using these hinges and these knobs. So I'm going to run this through the drum sander. Change of plan. I had this type of friction catch, but I'm going to go with this one instead. It's a plunger. It's rubber, and it's spring loaded, and I think it'll do a better job. The option with this is you can fix it like this, or you can fix it like this, and this is what I'm going for right here. Okay, so I've got to add a spacer in here, and this is going to hang over the edge like this, and if you look, it's sort of spring loaded, so it has to be like that. So I'm going to use a spacer like this here, and then screw that to the top of the cabinet. So I'm gonna have to get my screws ready. So right. Now, I'm using 1 3/4. I need 4 of them. All right. One. Okay. All right. I'm just screwing in and out because what's happening is if you don't create a larger diameter hole on the piece you're screwing in, they tend to want to screw together like that, and they split open. You got to screw and screw until it actually starts to clamp down. Okay, there we go. Okay, now these go up here. First I'm going to have to hang the door. Alright, so I should be 1/8, which I am. So I'm going to run it 1/16, 1/16. That should be okay. And now the width of the blade, which is 3/32. Now, I have to include the width of my hinges. So that's doubled up, right? So I'm gonna see what I get here. There. So I have the width of this, and then I'm going to have to split this in half. Alright, so I'm going to leave the mark. Well, there is a proper way to put those hinges on. And the proper way is you have to put it with these two first, okay? And you line it up. It's because when you get over here and you go to put your door in, it's going to stop against the hinge. But if you don't do it that way, there's no way you can actually get it to hold in place. Right? Like if I open up the hinge, I set it there so it holds. Now, I have one point of contact. The other way around, I had nothing. So it's kind of impossible to do it the other way around. And it's nice to have an extra pair of hands, but if you don't, you need some sticks. And what you do is you hold the top here, and one hand you can press here and hold the other one on the bottom so it doesn't slide out and you lose it, right? Here. Get ready for the next pair of holes. Right over there. And now the tough part. Easy. Now it's just calm down. Calm down. Okay, so it fits. My drill. Okay. Am I still on here? Okay. So yeah, this isn't easy. Definitely need a spare pair of hands. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm also saying it's not easy. It's all in the technique, right? If anybody has a better suggestion on how to put these things in, they're non-mortison hinges. What's the easiest way to set these or install these? I don't know why, but I got grammar correction. It's automatic. Somebody up there's correcting my grammar. Okay, it fits. I hope I can get the other one to the same height. I hope the other one fits. Remember, just without that, does it fit? Yeah, it does. I thought the blade width, which was 3/32, would have been okay. No. No, I could have made it a little bit snugger. Is that a word, snugger? Who knows? I'll bring it back when I'm done. Or when I install the knobs. This is the day before New Year's. It's the 1st of January, and our yard is a skating ring outside. And I guess my dad found a salter somewhere salting, and he just asked them to come over and put salt all over the yard. They're just putting salt on the yard now. And we have a gathering tomorrow, so we gotta do something about the ice. Like, I'm gonna try this, and if it's too much for the door, I'm gonna have to get some magnets or something. And I can still adjust it up and down. So that's okay there. Now, for the other side. Do the other side. I'm gonna reboot. Yeah, re-put the smaller bit on here, and let's open up the other bundle. It's a Amerock. Amerock. It's was made in Ontario, and it was made, like I said, this is from the 70s, right? But I got a bunch of this stuff. Probably better than what they make today. Go. Okay, so now a little nail there, the locking mechanism. Same on the other side. Lock that into place. And it's on this side. Now for the once again the Amerock. That's the number, and you're not going to find the .com on this because the internet wasn't around back then. Made in Canada, something you don't see anymore, or made in USA for that matter. You see made in China, made in Japan, made in Taiwan. But you don't see made in America and made in Canada anymore. Now, I wanted to put it as high as possible so that I'm not twisting the door by grabbing it here. Although, that makes you lean down quite a bit compared to this. And I'm still going to put it there. And if they say, well, you should have put it in the middle, I'm not going to answer that. So I really don't need more than, I should be in the middle of this hinge to give it some strength, so this should be enough. So when I do put it here, or up here, and I'm going to put it at here. So I want to match both sides. So I'm going to put it one width, and mark it. And my pencil mark is over here. And that's where that hinge is going to go. Same here. It's about uniformity, not necessarily measurements. Okay. And now I gotta find a bit for this. So we're gonna go with 5/32. Okay, and I want to go in perfectly square or perpendicular to that face. So I'm going to use a guide block. Okay, this has a Drill Block Plus. It's from Miles Craft, and it has a rubber on it, right? anti-slip. And if I have to flip it over to get a better, right from this side, I get a better chance of hitting it right on than if I have that kind of a spacing. But this can also go at a 90 degrees, right? Which makes it kind of nice. So it's sort of an approximation. I do have 5/30 seconds on here. I lucked out. So I'm just going to start these. And I'm going in reverse so he doesn't start to walk on me, right? Okay, so I got a pilot drill. And now for the bit. Okay, so I'm going to hit this on the back side of it. Here. Alright. Man, that looks nice. Wowzers. Comes. See? Where's the other? Now it's up here. All right, nice. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. So please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And this completes the build for the log cabinetry, and it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. And stay safe during the holidays and New Year's. And if you're going out and you have a party tonight, New Year's Eve, don't drink and drive and don't smoke and fly. Let's put it this way. So stay safe, get a designated driver, And everybody, I wish everybody a Happy New Year's. Bye.